All right, guys. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to talk about the Salt Lake City girls, okay? Try to get this out the way. It was a lot of talking, a lot of dialogue in this episode, so we're going to see if we're going to get through this season 5, episode 14, La Vida Loca. All right, so it opens up. We see Bronwyn. She's with Todd, and they're just talking about how she felt about Lisa, how Lisa was saying she was ungrateful and all these things, which she didn't use those words, but this is how Bronwyn felt, right? And just venting basically to Todd and him giving her a little whatever advice. So Heather and Angie, they go to, wait, by the way, the trip is over, or is it not over? I guess the trip is over there because they're all at home. I'm sorry. I'm like, wait a minute, the trip is over? But anyway, Whitney wants to take Heather and Angie aerobics in the water, like water aerobics. So they're exercising and just kind of gives them a little bit of, I don't want to say old people jokes, but they are a little bit older than her, and they could probably use a little bit of loosening up, so to speak. But they end up talking about Todd because Heather was just saying, like, well, she just notices some things, like how he's just so dismissive to her or whatever, and to Bronwyn, that is. And, it's just kind of reminding her of some things in her past. And she's just like, maybe there's something going on. And maybe there's something to this Bronwyn girl, you know what I'm saying? So maybe there's something going on that we're missing. And we just, we got to maybe approach her differently next time. But maybe, we got to think about that. Oh, wait, no, they're still in Puerto Mayata. I don't know why I just thought that. Oh, because Bronwyn, she was talking to Todd over the phone. Okay, over the phone. And the water aerobics was outside at the pool or somewhere on a resort or something like that, right? Okay, either way. Lisa gives out her gift. It was, one of her gifts, should I say, because I believe she was going to give out multiple, right? But this was a tote bag with VIDA Loca on it, or it said VIDA only, with some other little trinkets, blah, 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 on the inside. So, of course, Bronwyn is shading her just a tad because, what do I need a tote bag for? And the confessional people was like, you don't go grocery shopping? And she's like, no. But she didn't want to seem ungrateful or whatever, so she accepts the gift. Okay, so we're all getting ready to go on a boat yacht little experience. And, is Meredith not feeling well? You know what I'm saying? Brittany was like, oh, she was, I noticed that she was throwing up last night. So what's going on? So I wrote, maybe she had a hangover, guys. I think you guys were drinking. So it's a possible hangover in my eyes. But we go get over on the boat. And, they get to talking about Henry with Lisa, like, how is he doing since his brother Jack had left? And, of course, she says he's adjusting well, things of that nature, doing good in school with his friends, and just spending time with his dad. Okay, so this is kind of our first argument of this episode, okay, because there's plenty of dialogue going on here. So Brittany was like, okay, guys, so I made a big old announcement about my daughters, and it was a really big deal to me, and nobody cared. And everybody's like, well, it's not like we didn't care. It was like like I said, it's not like we didn't care. It's just, okay, like maybe she didn't disclose maybe enough of this information to them for them to care about, because it's mostly about Jared. So it's like, girl, look, sorry that you felt this way, but we'll give you support for it and everything. Because she's like, yeah, I had no support from you guys. It's like, what the heck? Like, it was such a big deal to me, and I just wanted to share, and Bronwyn was like, well, do you like the idea of telling us that you hung out with your daughter, or do you like do you actually like to actually see your daughter? Like, what is it? So, of course, Brittany's like, you're a bitch, because you know, like you're not taking me serious, and like, cause you know what I'm saying, I'm being serious, and you guys are joking and making light of it, and you know, it was like, so why are you being a troublemaker? And this is Bronwyn. Why are you being a troublemaker? And Lisa and Brittany's looking at her, so she thinks she's talking to her. No, she's like, no, I'm talking to you, Lisa. And Lisa's like, girl, what is going on? Like, how did I get in it, right? And Bronwyn's like, well, no, because you letting Brittany sit here calling me a bitch and all these other things, saying that I'm a gold digger, I'm a trophy wife. And Lisa like, look, I'm not supposed to be in all your fights and be defending you like this. Like, what? Like, I did say something, I guess, like, which I don't know, did she? You wasn't saying nothing right now, which is kind of, that's kind of what she just wanted. Like, I'm sitting here, we're all listening to her talk to me this way, and you're not going to say anything? Like, Bronwyn, I don't know, in that kind of sense, do you really need her to stick up for you? Do you really need her to say something? Do you really, like, or can you just have a conversation with Brittany like y'all was having? It was a one-on-one fight. She didn't have to jump in. Like, why do you want to be jumping people, tag teaming and all that stuff? Like, that's not, you know, like, that's not how you fight in a fair fight when you're arguing with somebody. So on that sense, I do feel he's like, was I supposed to jump in this? This is y'all beef. But of course, they're kind of just going back and forth like this, because Lisa's like, I'm just exhausted. Like, I can't, what do you want from me at this point, right? So this right here is where Bronwyn just kind of flipped the script on us, because she starts to cry. Oh my God, why aren't you guys asking about how am I doing? Like, all of this stuff, nobody's been asking me what's going on. And they're like, okay, what? Like, woo, tell us. So she's like, well, you know, like, it's just been a lot going on with Todd and infidelity and being a stepmom. Like, you know, he's an older man. It's a dynamic, and it's just, you guys just, nobody asked. So of course nobody was gonna ask you, because I don't think nobody really had the chance. You never really talked about your relationship like that. You talked about your daughter situation, but you never really jumped into your relationship with Todd. And yeah, and he only been around a few times, which I'm sure they do have questions now in their head, right, for what they were thinking. But yeah, like, you kind of never really brought it up. You were always doing some other stuff, right? You should have been talking about Todd. But anyway, she's going on to say that, yeah, it was some infidelity going on Todd's end. Talking about Gwen, the daughter, is the one that busted him, because she just so happens to come up to him. He was on his tablet or whatever. She see him talking to somebody else in the chat or whatever. So they're like, oh man, this is crazy. Like, you know, which is crazy that the daughter had to do this, because you don't really want your kids to be all up in your business. So I wonder how that dynamic would have changed for her, just because being a teenager, which I'm assuming this is a teenager time. I'm hoping it was a teenager time, to where they kind of understand a little bit better, versus a little bit younger, because this is stepdaddy figure and you doing this to my mom. So, you know, did that relationship change or adjust? But either way, she confronted Todd, and you know, she was just telling them that, you know, basically our relationship is just as hard as y'all's. Like, I do have feelings and things like that, and I go right, and we go through things too, you know, but I just wanted to express that, because nobody really asked, basically. And you know, just justifying Todd in this instance, justifying his behavior by saying that he told her that it's a fatal flaw of his, because being a successful businessman, as we know, they're used to excess, right? The money, the cars, the hoes. It's a package deal, right? So are they ever really satisfied? Even though they have this wife, Bronwyn, and she's trying to be everything to him, but is he everything to her? Or but is she everything to him? You know what I'm saying? Like, she loves him more than he loves her, is how she feels, because he don't really know the real her, I guess, so to speak. So with this, and he said sorry by buying her a carrot with 5 diamonds. Ooh, pretty nice, right? And basically promising that he wouldn't do those things with each of those diamonds. So, of course, I'll accept it and I'll cry. Look, I cry about it now. But, ooh, the diamond looks nice. I'll take it and I'll forget about it later and probably let him do what he do along the way, which is fine. Like I said, it's the thing of the wealthy businessman. Once they hit a certain status, it's like, I do have the wife at home and all those things, but she be alright. She don't gotta know that I'm messing around with such and such on Wednesdays at the Hilton. Like, unless I get caught and then whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. But other than that, let me see where we at. So she was just saying, like, if she's not good enough at home, is she good enough for these girls in this group, right? So this is where a little wrench gets thrown in this conversation, because Meredith was like, well, do you think that Todd is uninterested or not being invested because you're so guarded? And she didn't really she said no. I mean, obviously, like, why? I mean, she, what I'm saying, no, but she does, think that she loves Todd more than he loves her, right? But, right, does Todd really know her and things like that? And she's going through things of, like, she never really had her mom like that. She's losing her dad. Gwen is about to leave. So we'll just be her and Todd, but he be working all the time. So it's just a lot. So that's, I think Heather was like, oh, that's somebody said that's why you got the 3 dogs. Okay, yeah, fine. Keeps her busy. I mean, she does work and everything. It's not like she ain't doing nothing. But, and, Lisa is the one that introduced her, which I think she was maybe trying to throw Lisa a hint to try to jump in and help her a little bit with this. But, it's like, well, I'm fighting with her, kind of, and she's the one that brought me into this group, and I'm trying to get to know y'all. So it's like, so that's making it hard. So I'm just not sure, like, am I good enough, right? So, I don't know why. That was just a lot, right? And Heather was just like, well, I've been through the same thing with my ex, and I did this and I did that, did all the right things that I thought I was doing, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, I ended up in a divorce, and now I'm happy type story. So just giving her Bronwyn just a little advice on if that's just something that she wants to do, because nobody said that that's what she wanted to do. She's just saying that she was just going through some things. So Meredith, of course, jumps in on her thing, her and Seth was going through some stuff. Was it first season? They were almost on the brink of divorce because he don't work in Utah. He work out of state, so he ain't never really home like that. And they've been working through it because Seth has learned to adjust a few things to make her happy. So far, so good, right? Angie and Sean, she's like, hey, we ain't perfect either. We be arguing sometimes, got some things going on. He works a lot sometimes and this and this and that. So, it is what it is. They kind of bond over that aspects, because everybody been through it. Relationships ain't perfect, especially they've been with these people for 10 plus so years. So, girl, they all know. And a little side note here, because when they got back to the house, Lisa jumps out the little Sprinter van thing that they be riding in, and she was like, ooh, Todd is going to be so mad when he sees this. He going to lose his mind. I was like, oh, snap. See that reunion? We are back at our villas on our separate ends of it because, it's 2 of them. So we got MLB. I'm just going to say those 3 for now. Meredith, Lisa, Brittany. They're eating because everybody's eating at this point. They're just going over the boat. like, how y'all feeling? Of course, Meredith was like, well, I wasn't feeling well, but I'm a little bit better now. You know what I'm saying? Brittany's like, well, I feel a little bit closer to Bronwyn now that we had that little talk. We flip over to Whitney and Angie and Bronwyn. And they kind of just noticed that, like, yo, Lisa has been keeping her distance from you. Like, it's are we missing something? Or, you know, like, what we're noticing, there's this, the tension is still there. And Bronwyn's like, yeah, she feels like Lisa is what you call it? She's not doing nothing to her, like, personally, to, you know, make her upset, but she's feeling that, you know, she's still uncomfortable, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but she didn't necessarily do nothing wrong to her. It's just uncomfortable. Like, you know, Whitney's like, you know, Lisa is just really bad at expressing her stuff. Like, she means well, but she just never know how to execute it. Always, like, because she's so self-centered. Basically, it's like she do mean well. It's just the wrong execution, right? It's just the wrong delivery, girl. But she be trying. But on the low, she is punishing you just a tad because you over here with us. So, you know, Heather walks in just to see what's going on with them and says, you know, and Bronwyn thanks her for their support. So it's cool that they're finally getting on a good foot when it comes to their relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's not so broken at this moment. They're mending something. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to mend something, which hopefully sticks and they can build on it, but we're not sure. But in the meantime, we're getting along. Okay, so with this conversation, it's like, you know, I feel like, remember how Meredith kind of flipped the script on them on the boat after she said that about Todd? Like, well, do you think, like, maybe it's something about you? And this is them, you know, rolling back the tape in their minds and say, like, well, dang, they was really on Todd's side. They really wasn't on my side when it came to all of that. So, you know, what's going on with that? You're supposed to be on my friend, you know, like, it's all about this good friendship thing. And I'm in a vulnerable space and I'm expressing myself, and and she, like I said, it's like she kept throwing a bone to Lisa to pick up, and Lisa just was like, didn't even see it. So it was like and Whitney in her confessional, or I don't know if it was her confession or not, but she was just saying that, no, it wasn't her confessional, just in them talking like, well, listen, the rumors and the nastiness, they were both accused of cheating before. So maybe it's just something where, hey, you know, as long as we be quiet about it, it'll go away. Like, it's just something we don't got to discuss. And, I mean, remember the Utah tickets and Meredith in New York? Like, girl. And I think this was Bronwyn's mind. I can't remember who's thinking this was, but it was like, so, and, you know, like, maybe, like, my relationship with Todd, obviously, is just different from the way their relationship is with their husbands, you know what I'm saying? So it's just different. We're on different levels, different areas, different spaces. So maybe that's just another reason why she can't relate or understand where I'm actually coming from in this aspect. So maybe that's why she didn't come to my defense. I don't know. Okay, Mary arrives. We got Mary in the house. Finally, she gets there. But before she came, she had to send Robert Jr. to rehab. That's kind of all we're going to say about that, okay? When she get there, they ask her, yeah, so what was the delay? Because she sees Meredith in them first. And she was like, oh, you know, I just, you know, like, I just took my time because I wasn't sure if I was going to come or not. But I made up my mind, so I'm here. But Mary, she was happy to see Angie. I will say that. She goes, I think she says hi to Heather and them and all that, or maybe they hit them last. But she sees Angie and they were like so excited, like they were long time lost friends that haven't seen each other in years or something. Like, oh my God, I love you. I miss you. I'm so glad you're here. Because, you know, Angie did not say nothing yet. She kept her word. So that's that support that Mary needed. All right. VIDA tequila deal. VIDA tequila dinner. I don't know why I couldn't say dinner, for crying out loud. Either way, Lisa got it all set up. VIDA is everywhere, okay? We're going to see VIDA forever. So, you know, and of course Whitney had to say, all right, this commercial, it's a VIDA commercial everywhere we go, for Christ's sakes, which was cute because it ended with Mary saying, good. Where's my food? Oh my goodness, we're ordering food. And Mary's like, where's my food? I ordered pastrami and a Capri salad. And she was like, well, look, what she say, lettuce and tomatoes, or lettuce and mozzarella, or tomatoes and mozzarella. And so Lisa's like, oh, a caprese. Oh, I love a caprese. And then she said, and pastrami soup. And they're like, pastrami soup? Pastrami soup? Yeah, that sounds good. Pastrami. You mean minestrone? Oh, yes, minestrone soup. Where's my food? So the food does arrive. It was just a little late, or maybe you just couldn't, she was just hungry. So Brittany asked Meredith, why were you crying last night? And Meredith was like, oh, you know, I was upset, but I'm fine now, thank you. And cricket, because it was a little awkward. And Bronwyn was like, well, I mean, obviously we all heard that you were throwing up, and it was a bit concerning, you know, like what was going on, because Bronwyn told Heather told Angie told Bronwyn, while we were all getting ready and things like that. So Meredith is like, can y'all stop saying throw up? I'm literally trying to eat here, which she had a mouth full of food. And they just kept saying, yeah, and you kept saying she was throwing up. You heard her throwing up last night. And she was like, no, I was just really upset about the slut shaming comments or whatever. And Whitney thought like, oh, well, I thought y'all kind of moved on from last night and made up last night. And Angie was like, well, are we good, Meredith? Like, I thought we resolved stuff. And Meredith was like, well, you know, I was just really emotional. We did make up, and I just don't want to go back there. You know, I want to leave that there. So Lisa was like, yeah, Meredith, you know, she should be able to say how she feels. And you guys, like, if she, you know, like, she just butted in real quick while they were having this conversation. Like, and Andrew was like, wait, Lisa, I thought we agreed that we were going to stay out of each other's business and conversation. So I'm talking to Meredith here. Don't you butt in. And here go Lisa. Don't tell me what to do. All right, so don't tell me what to do from Lisa. And then here go Angie. Well, what you gonna do? And then I don't like you talking to me this way. Well, maybe you should take a note from or maybe I should take a note from your book and lunge at you. And you just keep egging this on. I don't even know what is going, like, you keep getting in the middle. No, I was trying to fix things. Well, you're not fixing things. Well, do you feel like a badass right now? Well, why do you think that's just so somebody addresses you that makes them a badass, Lisa? No, you, hold on. You be starting things all the time, and just because I'm not agreeing with you, like, now you want to jump up at me. And Whitney, no, you just want us to care, or we just want you to care about some things, Lisa, because you don't give nothing back to people. Like, you are a little bit self-centered. Well, she didn't say those words, but basically just telling, like, you don't be caring about nothing, Lisa, girl. We be trying to get to you and tell you stuff, and you just be ignoring us. It just be going past you. And Lisa like, well, girl, don't nobody care about your feelings. You don't even care about mine while you're over there talking. And Whitney like, well, I did try to be your friend. And Lisa like, girl, you a lying ass bitch. And somebody jumped in, and Lisa was like, stay out of this. Like, this is between us. Because I think Bronwyn was trying to say, it was Bronwyn was just trying to say something. And Lisa was like, no, 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 y'all stay out of it because now it's her going. You know what I'm saying? But this is what Angie was just trying to tell you, to stay out of her and Meredith's business, right? But you jumped in there, so now you mad at somebody for trying to jump at yours. So that's what Brian was like, well, dang, don't be telling me what to do. And she was like, well, I'll get to you next. Come on now, get in line, take a ticket. And I'm like, dang, Lisa versus everybody. And Brian was like, well, listen, I was trying to open up to you about my marriage and things like that, and it feels like you was just sticking up for Todd. So I don't know if I believe you, that you care or that you don't care, or like what, like, or is you on his side? Are you defending him, or do you care, or do you not? And Angie's like, well, I feel more closer to Bronwyn now that we done all had this conversation than I do with you, Lisa. And Lisa like, listen, I should be sharing my life with all of you. Like, you my friend, Angie, like, I've shared everything. Like, what do you mean? And Bronwyn, like, we going out to eat, our kids know each other. I've been a great friend. And in this conversation back and forth, Lisa's just like, well, you were never my friend then at this point, because, it kind of got a little silent to where it was like she was thinking a little bit with this conversation going back and forth. Like, I think she kind of realized, right, it's me versus everybody. Like, everybody coming at me. Like, I got Angie, I got Bronwyn, I don't care about Whitney. But these two girls right here are supposed to be my friend. So now that they're kind of tag teaming me a little bit right now, And Meredith wasn't saying nothing, you know what I'm saying? But, I think I feel some type of way, which she did. She did. It was hurting her feelings, and she started to cry. So this is where the episode ends, because we all see her crying, and it's like, so, I mean, are you okay? But she's like, nah, I gotta go. I'm about to leave. And this is where the episode's end, like I said. So now, Lisa, you can't cry now, honestly. You can't cry now, because that reaction that you just had, this hurt, this cry, this, oh my God, I'm being ganged up on, that feeling is what your friends is trying to tell you that they are feeling. So do you see that? So hopefully she sees it and she feels it. So when we get to the next episode, they explain that to her, like, yeah, girl, dose, eat it, taste it, digest it, let it go through your veins, and then come back at us and tell us, right, did you like it? Because that's what we was trying to tell you, that we don't like it, because it kind of hurt, don't it? It really do, because we are supposed to be friends. We are family. We enjoy everything about each other. But when you start, wouldn't say necessarily backstabbing, because she ain't necessarily backstab. It's just, you're so dismissive of all our feelings, and we just need to know, can you be more than just a surface level? That's all. We trying to get deep with you, Lisa. That's all. We know you, and you can still be selfish and all that stuff, because that's the fun stuff I actually like about Lisa, is that part. Like, I'm fabulous and I don't care. Like, that's the part I love. But if you can still love at the same time, just be humble, girl, you be the best. But anyway, this is Salt Lake City Girls. So, like I said, it was a lot of dialogue, a lot of talking, but we got through it, and we'll get to the next one. Peace.